So we're gonna go get an image tomorrow, and just really get a feel for what we're working with. It's a little sore right now. Felt it a little bit on that swing, and it's something that hopefully is not too serious, but we don't know a lot about it right now.
And you hit the shoulder pretty hard on that dive, Brandon.
Yeah.
Did you feel something right then?
So I didn't feel it right away, but then as we went in and did the seventh inning stretch, God bless America, kind of just felt this general achiness in my shoulder, and I was thinking, okay, I'll save what swings I've got left, for the game. And then I took that first swing and felt a little something in my backswing, and so then I told them, I said, okay, I just need a moment. Let me finish this at bat, and I'll just finish it with two hands on the backswing. And I didn't feel it there, so that's encouraging. But then because it's a throwing shoulder, and I was going to need to get my arm up above my shoulder, to make throws, we were trying to be cautious about not doing more damage.
How's it feel now?
It's sore right now. It kind of feels a little bit dead right now. Like don't really want to do much with it. But they said that's kind of how it's going to feel probably for the next 12 hours or so. And so we'll get an MRI tomorrow and get a clearer picture of what we're dealing with.
Was there an initial diagnosis that they gave you?
Not really. No, there's a couple things that it probably could be, and we'll get more specific tomorrow when we get an image.
Are you concerned at all?
I mean, yeah. Anytime you do something with the shoulder, you're concerned, and the fact that I had to come out of a game, I don't love, but sometimes these things can just kind of tighten up and protect itself right away, and then kind of get better later. So that's what I'm hoping for, and we'll see what we're dealing with tomorrow.
As far as the team, you've got Baltimore, Arizona,
Yeah.
San Diego now. Got
Yep.
a tougher stretch.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
got through a stretch with playing non-playoff teams.
Right.
Got around 500.
Yeah.
Not what you want. What do you think about that? Is this a blow to have lost this part of the schedule? Now have to face these kind of teams.
I mean, yeah, obviously, like you said, you would like to do better in facing the teams that aren't necessarily in playoff contention, but also, we had a little bit of a rough go there for the schedule, and so would have liked to do better, but also I think coming into this, these games mean as much to them as they do to us, and so there'll be a lot of pressure riding on these games, and when that happens, I think it brings a lot of the best out of teams and people, and you're gonna see some really competitive games over these next couple weeks. It sometimes can, when you're playing teams that aren't necessarily in it, they're just they're kind of free and easy and just playing, and whatever happens, right? But when you play teams that are in it, every pitch matters. So it's going to be more like playoff baseball here. And so, I expect the guys to show up and, for good baseball to be played over the next couple weeks.
Brandon, the injury comes just as your swing is really coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, it's frustrating. It is. But it's baseball, and that was really important, that catch. There's a point in the game where if that ball falls, they take the lead, and we're late in the game, and obviously every game matters to us right now, and so it's one that I got to go for, and I've got to make the play. Sometimes things happen, and we're going to find out the extent of it, but I'd do it over again. It's a play that has to be made in the moment, and I've always talked about for the last 3 years about playing smart, and playing smart, not hard, all the time, and that was one of those plays that needs to be made. So I got to do it, and I would do it again, but it is unfortunate. Would love to do better, or to be able to continue this.
You make basically that catch pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Did you land any differently as you tumbled, or?
Yeah, I mean, no, not necessarily a lot differently. Like you said, I mean, when I blew my ACL, I'd been tackled like that probably 250 times before, and it was just like that one. It just happened to be just right. So, this one, just happened to be just right. And it's always a risk when you leave your feet. And honestly, it's one of the reasons that we try to not leave our feet, throughout the course of the season unless we really need to. And so it's always a risk. It's just unfortunate that, I was having to come out of the game for it, but it's part of the game, unfortunately. When you leave your feet, you're always taking a risk that something might happen. So nothing really that abnormal. I was just coming in hard, and you ended up landing on that shoulder pretty good.
What kind of boost was it getting Marte back in line?
Yeah, no, I mean it's great having Marte. Obviously, he's a difference maker, and can take control of games, when he's feeling right. So to have him back is huge for us, and I think it's a huge boost for this team.
Where did you land, and where are you kind of experiencing that discomfort?
So I kind of rolled to the right shoulder pretty hard, and feeling like general soreness like right on top over here, and so hopefully just jammed it a little bit and it'll be good to go. But like I said, we'll find out the extent of it tomorrow.
Yeah, I think really just kind of mixing it up. Staying away, coming in. I threw a lot more curveballs today, which is kind of game plan going into it. But great job by Louis. First time he's ever caught me back there. It's just kind of good all around.
Why more curveballs today?
It was just something I had feel for. A guy back there who's never seen him before. Kind of what I told Alvy the first couple times I threw to him was just like trust his eyes. And it was curveball in the bullpen was something I'd feel for, and then first couple innings I did as well, and we just kind of kept it moving.
For the team this week, 2 series at home against clubs that aren't contending, how disappointing of an outcome is just the week generally?
Yeah, you obviously want to win every series you can. We won this series. Today might leave a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth, but we still got a long way to go. You can't dwell on something like this. You got to get ready. You got a really good team coming in here for the next 3 games, and you got to be able to bounce back tomorrow and fight.
The first time you picked off 2 base runners in a game?
Yeah, that might be the first time I ever picked anybody off at first base. It's first one was a big credit to Louis, and the second one was to Pete. Really, just changing up my looks and not getting in a timing rhythm out there for those base runners. Anytime you get free outs on the bases, that's huge.